You're watching The Ugly Inside? Subscribe below.
The international break is over and Southampton next play Arsenal in the Premier League on Saturday the 10th. Nick's here to join me once again. First of all, Nick, how do we feel about the proposition of the Emirates and Arsenal on Saturday? We were a bit of a bogey team for them last year.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we beat them at home, obviously, on Boxing Day 4-0, which was a great result. And then we got a 0-0 draw, which is a rare point for us at Arsenal in any year, let alone last one. It's not a great game to come back for after the international break, after a slow start to the season. So we've just got to go and get out there and do it.
So the teams are slightly different this time round. Obviously, we've got a new manager. They've got a few new faces. But Arsenal are very well known for their wide play. How are we going to deal with that on Saturday? We're very much now playing a very narrow formation. What sort of trouble can we expect on Saturday if we play that narrow formation?
Well, we've two things. We've got to make sure that the fullbacks defend well and don't get outrun. I mean, it'd be good to see Ryan Bertrand back, if only for the fact that he's a faster player than Matt Targett. But we've got to get our midfield players, coming out wide and covering. It's not it's going to be a test for us, but I think it's a test we can come through. Our passing game might suit us against the Gunners before. And at the end of the day, it's one of those games for Saints. A visit to Arsenal is usually a case of let's get it out of the way and move on. It very rarely yields much. Last year was as good as it's got in the last 30 years, I think.
We all remember last year's visit to the Emirates. If it wasn't for Fraser Forster's heroics, we wouldn't have come away with a point. He's been out this week. He removed himself from the England squad. Is he expected to be fit on Saturday?
Well, he's expected to be fit. I mean, they haven't really revealed what the total extent of the damage is, but they're saying it's not serious. He's expected to be fit. And, of course, if he can't play, we've got the England number 3 goalkeeper in. So it's all good.
Well, we could even see the return of one of their legends, Stuart Taylor, on the bench.
So hopefully perhaps the excitement of seeing them will, overwhelm them, and the pressure of the crowd to get on the back, and we'll do it. I mean, we won there a couple of years ago in the League Cup, so we have got a little bit of form. Stranger things have happened, but it's not looking good.
We spoke about Ryan Bertrand just a minute ago, but how important is he going to be for the squad on Saturday? And do you think he's match fit and ready to go straight in at the deep end at the Emirates?
Well, without being a medical expert and part of the team that have worked on his knee, you would hope that he's been training. I mean, with things like knee injuries, and indeed, when you bring in players into the side, as what Jose Fonte was, the training level is up there. It's match sharpness and match fitness. He was fit enough to go on the bench 2 weeks ago. You'd have hoped that he's had 2 weeks of training since then. And, Ryan's a good player. He's a fast player. His speed gets him out of trouble a lot. He's what you need against Arsenal. So, I'd hope he'd be ready and raring to go.
Now, I have to make the connection here now. Knee injuries. We've just brought in a brand new player, £16 million to Fane Buffal, come with a knee injury. Is he expected to be fit? And what sort of damage can he give Arsenal if he's going to play on Saturday?
Well, the first worry is about what sort of damage he can give himself. He seems to have this knee injury and hasn't played. I don't think he's going to be fit for Arsenal. I think, that Swansea City is going to be more than likely the target to, again, put him on the bench and try and see if they can give him a little bit of a cameo if the game suits it. You've got to be 100% against Arsenal. As you say, it's not a ground that either Highbury or the Emirates that we've done well at in the past. It's not the time to put new blood in. I don't think.
Now, we mentioned Swansea City next weekend. If we don't pick up a point at Arsenal, the pressure is going to ramp up a little bit more from those guys that were shouting and calling for Claude Puel's head a bit unfairly last weekend before the international break.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you put pressure on yourself, but it's not been, a terrible start to the season. We were only 2 shots away from having 6 points from our 2 home games. There's a long way to go. Ronald Koeman, Mauricio Pochettino, they didn't make any better starts in any of their seasons than Claude Puel's done so far. It's got to be given time. You would hope that perhaps we would warm up by giving Sparta Prague a bit of a battering in midweek, bit in between, and that could take a little bit of pressure off then. And I think our passing game will suit the Europa League better than it does the Premier League at the moment.
Right, let's wrap things up then. What's your score prediction for Saturday away to Arsenal?
I'm going to go, I would say my head says a 3-1 defeat. My heart says that Fraser Foster will be back and fit, that we can play a very defensive side, put our backs to the wall and fight a very defensive, kicking it off the line, sticking your nuts in the way, 0-0 draw. Or scoring in injury time at the end of the second half. That doesn't give them much time to equalise.
We'd all have a point once again at the Emirates, but let us know in the comments below what your score predictions are and what you're expecting for Saturday's game. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more.